What is up, guys? It's Warren here. So in this video, I'm basically going to explain the psychology and the mindset you need to have to pass FTMO. Okay, so this isn't financial advice, so it's just educational purposes, right? The mindset you need to have. So I'm going to share my whiteboard here, right? I know the last time I did go over a little bit, but this time I want to show you how to pass, right? So the first thing you need to do is you need to have a winning system. A winning system is basically, I see the same as a winning system, winning trading plan. Okay. Maybe other people will differentiate, but I don't really care. At the end of the day, only results matter, right? So the second thing is you need to focus on risk to reward, but actually this should be 1.1. Then the second thing is risk to reward needs to have the correct win rate, right? So what I mean by that is if you have a 50% win rate, that means in order for your winning system to be profitable, the RR needs to be at least 1:2, or at least 1:1.5, 1:2, right? You have to win more than you lose. Okay. So how do you get this 50% win rate? You have to have backtested at least 100 trades with the same strategy to know, is this a winning system, right? And I would prefer to stay away from the 1 minute, because maybe for the month, the 1 minute you can get this 50% win rate in a 1:2, and the next month you get destroyed because the market conditions are different, right? The second thing is you can have a 40% win rate. 40%. Where is my percentage sign? 40% win rate with the RR 1:3. And then you can even go down to like 35%. 35% win rate, RR 1:4. Right? So it means every time you risk maybe 500, you make 1,000. Every time you risk 500, you make 1.5 thousand. Every time you risk 500, you make 2,000. Right? So what that means is, let's take for the last one for the example. If you have 10 trades, right? You have 10 trades, 4 winners. Well, let's just take the 35%, right? So let's just say you have 3 winners, 7 losers. So with 3 winners, you would make with 3 winners, you would make 500. You would make 6,000, right? 6,000 by risking 500. Then the 7 losses. So actually take this. 7 losses. 500 times 7 would equal to 3,500. So you would still be in profit, right? You'd still have a profit of 2,500. Okay. So even with 35% win rate and 1.4 risk to reward, you would make profit. Now, if you have this win rate, in my realistic terms, your RR needs to be like 1:8, 1:10, right? Otherwise, you're going to spend maybe the month, 2 months trying to pass FTMO. For me, you need to have a strategy with RR of 1:8, 35% win rate, and you need this win rate can be very hard on your psychology. Every trade I'm taking is a loss, every trade I'm taking is a loss, and then you make a lot of mistakes. So if you're going for big RR and low win rate, you need to be psychologically strong, right? You need to be experienced also. For beginners, it's better with like a 50% win rate, 55% win rate, maybe with the 1:3. Okay. Because you end up winning more, and then it's good, it's better, it's more, it strengthens your psychology. But this one is more demanding on your psychology, and for beginners, it's actually very tough. Right. And I'm actually going to cover a strategy so you can pass. It's not my full strategy, what I use, but it still works, right? So this is your win rate. And yeah, with a 35% 1:8, that means for 3 winners, you risked 500. You would make 12,000. So this one would be like 8,000. Well, I think that's right. Yeah. So yeah, if you have such a low win rate, you need to have a very high risk to reward to be profitable. Okay, that's basically the how to pass FTM, all right? The thing comes in maybe this becomes like, I don't know, 45%. That you gotta wait. If you want this with a higher win rate, you need to wait for a lot of confluence and then take the trade, right? So that means you won't even lose that much. You lose like 5 losses, which would be 2,500, and then you pass. No, I'm lying down there, right? So let's just say you decided to risk. So I don't really like risking 1% unless the trade is super good. If you risk 10 trades, risk 1%. So let's just say we're taking 100K, so this would be 1,000. 3 winners would be 24,000 by risking 1,000. And then 7 losses, no, it shouldn't be. We have 45%. So around 4, no, sorry, around 6 would be 6,000. And then you'll still have 18,000, right? Maybe I made some mistakes with alls and minus signs, and it's actually a dash. But anyways. So let's just say on the first trade you win. If you win on so this is basically everything. Everything you need to pass FTMO. You need to have all of this, right? You need to have a proper winning system. You can't just leave anything to chance. So the first thing, if you want your first trade risking 1,000 and your RR is 1:8, you'd make 8,000. Boom. You almost passed. And now even if you take losses, it'll maybe drop to 5,000 and then you win the next 8,000 and then boom, you pass, right? So having a little bit higher win rate and risk reward takes time. You need to have back tested. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know when to enter, when not to enter. So yeah, this is how you become very profitable, right? By waiting patiently for your setups with a high win rate, maybe even 50%, with a very high risk to reward. And when it works out, you almost can't lose, right? You always make huge gains. Now the strategy part, let's go to the strategy part. I need to open up the charts. Let us go to the charts. Let me share my screen. Okay, let's go back in time. I don't know to where. Let's just go somewhere. 10th of July. Okay, so what the strategy entails. Why can't I reset the chart? What's going on here? Okay. Okay, reset chart view. Let me minimize this. Remove all drawings. Okay. Now, if you want to pass, I covered this in the last meeting or a few videos ago. So, if you look at the market, right? Let's just trade structure alone. If you look at the market came down, closed below this. This bar made it bearish. Now this bar makes it bullish, and then this bar closed below this low. If you go to my video on structure, you'll figure out what I'm doing. This market makes it bearish, right? Now, if you look at supply and demand, so that's the previous video also. We have a supply area somewhere here. A demand area somewhere here. And there's a demand area somewhere there. So how do we find that? We can go to 30 minutes. And this is the big candle. So the candle before is our demand area. Price taps into the demand area, right? So now we will let it play out. See what happens. All right. So now that price is bearish, we can actually short this. You can put your stop loss somewhere here. And your take profit somewhere here. What's this? Like a 1:2. Let's have a look where it's actually going. So if it comes into this demand here, should be fine. Okay, so now that means we can actually reduce stop loss to somewhere here. So on 30 minutes, if the market becomes bullish again, we get stopped out, but we let it play out. I don't like this. But it did break the demand level, so we can actually let it run. All right, and then maybe you missed your TP here. Maybe it was just too ambitious. Maybe like somewhere where the demand level would be. So the demand levels here, it did come a little bit. So it did drop. But our risk to reward is 2 point around 1:2, right? Okay, so we're done with that. Now let's go. This is on 10th of July. 10th of July. Now, if you actually look at this, it's at midnight, so we'll ignore this. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So what I see is a buy, right? Price came here. Actually go to the 4 hour. Still bearish on the 4 hour. But what I want is, I want a bullish structure, right? So if you look at this, so bullish structure, price comes down here in the midnight, closes above here, which makes it bearish. Makes it bullish. SPA here. And then it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So I would say if price closes here, we can actually, that can be our stop loss. So this is a manual stop loss. No, it's not. So if it taps here, it needs to close here on the 30 minutes, right? If it doesn't close, we're still gonna hold even if it spikes a little bit down. Right, so we let it play out, and then see, it didn't close, it never closed, means it would change structure to bearish. I would say now if you're on a TP, you can TP on demand area, right? So our demand area is this big bar here, so the demand area is somewhere here. Okay. This is the 1:7 trade. Now if you let it run, did it close? No. Okay, this one we get stopped out. Right? Nothing you can do. Nothing much you can do here. Right? But if maybe you didn't take this on demand level, you still could have got a 1:2.4 before the market reverses, right? Why would we TP here? Because it's on the opening level of this big candle, right? Opening closing. So you could TP somewhere around here. Or even on like deviation 1 of the Bollinger Band, right? Now, that's why I actually say without my other trading system, without my other confluences that I use, sometimes you can take more losses if you're only trading structure and supply and demand, right? For me, I'll be looking for something else because I can see it. Like I know the market's gonna probably come somewhere around here, right? If you look at the big picture, there's a big trend line, which I cover in my course, trend line. And if it breaks the trend line, it probably just flies. Yeah, see, it just flies because it broke the trend line. So of course, I didn't cover trend lines. I covered that in my course. Like for this trade here, I would have probably looked for more confluences. Like if you look at this candle here, there's another demand area. So even if you put your long position here, maybe you entered on the demand level, stop loss below the demand level, and you were just trading supply and demand, you'd still get good risk to reward, right? But of course, I use way more confluences, so that's why I have a better win rate and better risk to reward. But yeah, you can use supply and demand structure to try and create a strategy. But I would say it's actually very difficult if you're on your own, because you're just gonna get you're gonna get confused, what to look at, etc. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to show you guys that it's possible. And basically how to pass FTMO is good. You gotta have a winning system, good risk reward, okay win rate. And yeah, you gotta execute your trades properly. And yeah, it comes with time. You need to practice, 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 and backtest. I think I've backtested over 10,000, maybe 5,000 trades, or maybe more since I started. Every day I would backtest at least 3 hours. Some weekends I would backtest for 12 hours, but it was a daily thing until I became very consistent at what I'm doing. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys take care and contact me if you guys are interested in mentorship, because that's where you're actually going to learn how to actually do this consistently and profitably. Okay.